Good morning. There you are again. It's great to see you. It is Thursday, July 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th today. Thursday, July 16th. I hope you've had a great week. I've really enjoyed heading to worship and listening to Betsy's messages and hanging out with you guys in groups. So I hope you have had a great time. Today we are talking about the exposure triangle. You won't disappear if you go into it. So exposure triangle, again, combines all three of those elements that I talked about. So shutter speed, aperture, Aperture, thank you very much, and ISO, all right? So it combines those, and basically what that does is, so again, I could go back to shooting sports. So if I am taking pictures of a tennis match, and the clouds, or the sun goes behind the clouds, the light changes, and so I need to adjust my settings accordingly so I have a good exposure. I know that I want to keep a fast shutter speed because I want to freeze the action and make sure I'm getting good photos and not just blurry as they do their ground strokes. So that's one thing. So I would say we're going to go with a 1/2500th of a second. All right, so 1/2500th of a second, very, very fast. Also, I don't want everything else in view, or in focus rather. Okay, so I want to do a smaller aperture. I'm going to go 5/6 just to be generous. That way, the court next to them is not going to be in focus, so it'll kind of separate them a little bit. So 1/25. I can really talk, man. Yesterday, today, I just can't talk. So 1/2500th of a second, f5/6, and then I've got to determine my ISO. So according to those, I've got to put my ISO at like ISO 3200. All right, and then when the sun comes up or comes back out from behind the clouds, I can lower that ISO because, again, I want to keep that shutter speed there. I want to keep the f-stop there, the aperture, and then I can adjust the ISO accordingly to get my exposure. All right? So it's basically adjusting those three things to get the right exposure. So it's something you just have to experience and kind of play with to see the sun comes out. I can adjust this one or I can adjust this one. But they all work together to give you a good exposure. So that is photography in a nutshell. Again, there are a ton of videos about the exposure triangle, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and mastering those. If you have questions, feel free to contact me. You're more than willing to do that. So that's photos. So today, on our last day, Thursday, I've got one more music video for you. We're going with Lauren Daigle, Look Up Child. So enjoy it. It's been a great week. Enjoy the day, and we will probably see you around. See ya.